a study of FODAY SANKOH, even though it is a very sad issue, but sometimes it is full of comedy. I think whoever came up with the term that tragicomedy must have had FODAY SANKOH in mind. But who is FODAY SANKOH? FODAY SANKOH was a Siera Leonean. He came from a country called Siera Leone. Siera Leone was colonized by the British. But the first people to go past Sierra Leone through the coast, but they did not colonize it, were the French. So the French were passing near the coast, and they saw hills that resembled a lion. So Sierra Leone, Leone is a lion. Sierra is something, I'm not good in French, but I think it is something, could we say major, a big lion or a serious lion or a major lion, something like that. But it has something. A sailor looked at the mountains from his ship while in the coast, and the hills looked like a lion. So Sierra Leone has something to do with saying that major lion or something like that. But the French never colonized Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone was colonized by the British. Sierra Leone, things got bad around 1991. They had a major civil war between 1991 and 2002. But a person who contributed to this civil war outside the boundaries of Sierra Leone was one Liberian American called Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor was an American Liberian, and he had even broken out of prison in America, and then he came to Africa and caused problems in Liberia, while at the same time interfering with a neighboring country. For those of my viewers from East Africa, you will know that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, even though he was fighting to be the ruler of Uganda, he still had Rwandese people in his government, just like the director of intelligence was one Paul Kagame. So you understand how you can be in one country, fighting one country, still infiltrating the next country. FODAY SANKOH formed a rebel group that was called RUF, that is Revolutionary United Front. And in that war, it is estimated that 50,000 people died and 500,000 people were displaced. Now we go to FODAY SANKOH himself. He was born on 17th October 1937, and he died on 29th July 2003. He joined the British Army in 1956 and trained both in Sierra Leone and in the UK. In 1971, he left the military as a corporal. But he did not just leave the military, he was jailed. His major job in the military was that he was a signaller. Oh, how I like Signal. I almost became a Signal. He was jailed for 7 years from 1971 to 78 because he started a mutiny. After he was released in 1978, he became a photographer. When he became a photographer, as he was going around, he found young radicals whom he joined together, and that is how he started the RUF, and they wanted to overthrow the government. On 23rd March 1991, they first attacked the eastern province of Siera Leone. He started, this is where we call it tragicomedy. He started something that was called Operation Pay Yourself. This meant that rebels in the RUF were encouraged that when you go and raid a place, whatever you get, you pay yourself. Suppose you go and raid a shop or even a bank. Whatever you get is yours, you divide among yourself. If you raided a farm, the animals and whatever and the food stuff there is yours, that squad or squadron that attacked there. Now, among the major, when he started RUF, he had 2 people. One was Masarany and another one was Kanu. People from Kenya don't think I'm talking of a certain political party. But in those areas, even there is a footballer called Kanu. So in those areas, we have some people who are called Kanu. So those were his major deputies, but they were intellectuals. So they said Operation Pay Yourself was not popular because it turned the RUF against the populace. But then he had them 2 executed. Then in March 1997, he was jailed by the Nigerian government. He was later released, but when he was released, he was a very funny person. I remember when he met a Kenyan general, Lieutenant General Opande. He's the type of a person whom you meet and you tell him, you see the way what you're doing is costing life, is costing properties, and he would really apologize and say, oh, but when you leave him, you'd be lucky if he kept his word for a week, because he'll publicly call a press conference and say that disown whatever was happening, and he would declare that he has disbanded the RUF. But what would happen? Immediately, as soon as possible, if not hours, days, or even weeks, he would revive it. That one, and his rebels, used to give themselves ranks. You could find anybody giving himself any rank: general, brigadier, field marshal. But there is one rank that was banned. If you made a mistake and you belonged to RUF and gave yourself a rank of a corporal, you would be executed, because they believed the corporal was a holy name, was a holy rank, and any rebel giving himself the rank of corporal, he would be executed. A corporal was reserved for him and him alone. That is where we say tragicomedy. But what did Sierra Leone's people do? Sierra Leone people were very clever. One day they arrested him. This mob justice. There's a place they cornered him when his rebels were far. Do you know what they did it? They stripped him naked. They stripped him naked the way you you are when you are in a shower. Yeah, they stripped him naked. and they took every town has a major road. Like Eldoret, there is the Uganda Road. In Nairobi, we have Government Road. Every town has a major road that is it Government Road or even Uhuru Highway. We have a major road that runs from one end of the town to the other end of the town. What they did is they stripped him naked without even the underpants, and forced, and they did not even handcuff him or even tie him with ropes. They told him to march from one end of the town to the other end of the town. He walked naked that way. He reached the other end, starting from this end to the other end, and they just left him that way. His naked body was shown over all the newspapers, and from that day, he could not walk in public. What a beautiful way to end a terror era. Then from there, he went underground, and he was jailed. I mean, he was found and jailed around the year 2000, and he died in the year 2003 through a stroke. He died through a stroke in 2003, and that is how people are saying that he died a natural death, a peaceful death, that he denied so many people. Thank you.